Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Question Reality. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host of this show, and we are coming to you live from... Here we go. You're in charge of that. Get the hot, sexy guys here. All right, let's start this over again. My God. Hello and welcome to the Question Reality Radio Show. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host of this show, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. For 11 years, we have providing the audience with entertainment industry career advice, and this show is for you if you're thinking about pursuing a career in entertainment, or if you're actually questioning your career reality. You're sitting at your desk and you got the pen and the pencil and the calculator's going and you're in a daze and you just kind of drift off and you think, God, I wish I was at a strip club. But then you think, how am I going to pay for the strip club? Well, if I could pay for it, I'd want to pay for it being a celebrity. Well, entertainment industry, this is how you get there. If you're already working in the entertainment industry, the people on our show will provide you with tips, advice, and resource information on how and what it takes to elevate your career status. So the guests on this show include Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony Award winners. Who else do we have? We have reality TV stars. We have producers, directors, casting directors, singers, songwriters, comedians, entertainment attorneys, you name it. If they are working in the entertainment industry, they're going to be on this show. And if you missed any of our shows, here are 3 ways that you can listen to our past shows. Number 1, you can go to our archive page, which is on the latalkradio.com website, and search for the title of our show, which is Question Reality. You can go to iTunes and get us on Google Play and Stitcher.com, and we're under the podcast section. And we also have a free mobile app, which you can get at the App Store and the Google Play Store. And when you download some of these shows on the mobile app, I want to make sure that you consider going and exploring shows on LA Talk Radio. We have a bunch of super fun hosts, and they're discussing a wide variety of topics and subjects, and there's always something for everyone on LA Talk Radio. And we had recently 2 of our hosts. Why I did not know about this, or I'm sure I would have won 2, I'm sure, but I just found out that 2 of the hosts on 2 other radio shows won what's called the Tally Award. So I am going to be finding out about that, and I will win next time. Did not know there was a Tally Award. Learning about awards all the time, John. Learning about awards. So I know one of the shows was The Polished Woman, and I am so sorry. I do not remember the name of the other show, but I just thought about it in the car, so you have to forgive me. I'll get you next time. When you want to promote yourself or your products, or just come on the show to just give sage career advice, you want to go to our official website, which is questionrealityradioshow.com, questionrealityradioshow.com, not latalkradio.com. That is the radio station. And we are currently booking for November and December, so please go to questionrealityradioshow.com. Did I say radioshowshit.com? Radio show. What the hell's the name of my show? questionrealityradioshow.com, and go to the contact page and submit. And we got November and December. Usually everybody knows that my shows are booked 6 months to a year in advance, but you know what was happening was that I book all these people, and then when it was time for them to come on, they were on tour or they were in the middle of filming a movie. John, you know how it is.
I'm sorry, I have scheduling conflicts.
And I know it was so hard to get John. It took me 2 years to snag him back on the show. So today we have wonderful guests. Today, as usual. Actually, every week we have great guests, but Today is very special because we have the co-host of the show, Jessica Furmanek. Yes, that is so tacky, and I love it. You know what? Let Ryan because he probably doesn't hear the sound effects. So let Ryan have the earphones. Yes. So we have Jessica Furmanek. This is Jessica for the Facebook Live. Oh, wait a minute. Facebook Live. Oh, we're already getting message. Somebody named David. Okay, so hi, David Timothy Dunn. Is that one of your friends? One of your secret admirers?
I like that you think I have friends.
Yes, I know. She's also
already one of your fans.
John's jumping on that right away. Jessica is also my cousin. See the resemblance of the eyes? Do you have green eyes?
Yes, of course. We have to have green eyes.
We do. We are Irish. We have Irish green eyes. She is, sorry, I got a damn lozenge and I'm going to crack it 1 minute. Okay. So she is a model at, I hope this is right information.
It's completely right.
Yes. Okay. So Jessica is a model at Professionally Pretty, an actor at Productions Plus, and a writer at Morgan James. And you can check her out and become one of her fans because look at this. Wouldn't you want to be a fan of this beauty? Ooh. Go to Instagram.com. Jessica Furmanek. It's spelled JESSIKAFUHRMANECK. Had to spell that out because most people would think SS instead of C.
Most people think that
CA. Yeah, CA.
The English spelling, but this is my German. My father's German,
the
so
German
we get all the
side,
German.
yes.
But I've still got the Irish eyes.
We do have the green German, the Irish eyes. And the first guest today, I'm sure everybody knows this guy. He was on my show 2 years ago. We got so many new followers because of John. John Blyth Barrymore Jr. Yeah. Yay! Woo, you know, it gets kind of weird and tacky over here. All right. So John Blyth Barrymore is an actor. Oh, it just switched, Albert. How to get it back? It went vertical. Okay. All right. Hold on. We got people. Wait, John, you got so many fans. They're like, hey, John, I don't know who. Do you know who that person? Well, all right. So we do this. All right. Nothing formal over here. We just do it. But it's vertical again. Can you make it go?
My favorite line from any movie ever.
We're vertical.
Is from Mommy Dearest.
Oh,
because I'm not one of your fans.
Now, John Blyth Barrymore Jr. is an actor producer.
Actually, we don't use the junior.
We don't. Is it the third?
Well, it's complicated.
All right, so we just want to go with John Blyth Barrymore, JBB.
Yeah, that's in lieu of the third or the junior because technically it's a long story.
You could be the 17th, 18th, 19th, or 20th.
No,
we don't know.
What it comes down to is only kings and popes get to be 7th, 8th, and 9th. That's why my father was able to dump the junior by naming me John.
Ah, got it.
Because my grandfather had passed.
All right.
My son should have been a third, but clerical error.
It's crazy.
And so we have 3 John Blyth Barrymore Juniors in a row.
Wow. Yeah. Well, he is an actor and producer, and he is the son.
Writer.
Oh, we got to add that one. Writer, yeah. He is the son of, I hope I get this right, John. Okay, so John is the son of John Drew Barrymore, the grandson of legendary actor John Barrymore, the grandnephew of legendary actors Lionel Barrymore and Ethel Barrymore, and the half-brother to famous actress Drew Barrymore. I got it right?
Exactly.
Yes. All right. Yay.
I have used John Drew Barrymore Jr. as a,
Yeah, I saw that. That's where I got it off of IMDb because it has you listed as junior.
When he named me John, he changed his middle name just for good measure.
Ah, well, there you go. And you can look at all of his credits on IMDb.com. And last but not least, do you have green eyes too? I see. I do not. No. Damn, it looks green from here, doesn't it?
My mother has green eyes.
Yeah.
And she's a Ashkenazi Jew.
Oh, well.
And red hair and freckles.
Well, see, it's
she looks Irish.
It's an Eastern European trait, exactly. The green eyes.
Well, Dr. Gene Scott argued that the Irish were the lost tribe of Israel. So.
Well, yeah, we don't know
take
that.
it. I will
Well,
take that.
historical facts on the show today. It's getting more exciting by the second, don't you think? All right, so the last guest, isn't he a little beauty? Let's just zoom in. Can we zoom in on him? Let's get that little zoom. He's a little beauty. He is a comedian, an actor, and a voice artist. His website is, it's Ryan. I hope I pronounce it right. Goldsher?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh. We need to give him double applause. Give him a double applause. Hit me again. I know. Woo! I always make sure I give any man under 25 double applause. You know how I'm a pervert from way back. All right. So Ryan Goldsher, go to his website now, RyanGoldsher.com. He's also on Instagram under Ryan Goldsher and YouTube under Ryan Goldsher. And I've been talking about this 11 years. Very important when you are starting out in your career or when you're branding yourself, you need to keep it consistent with your name. Because think about it. How are people going to find you if you don't have your name? So many people have websites with these weird things, right, Ryan? Have you seen? What are some of the ones you've seen?
Well,
get closer to the mic, sweet.
Hello. Can you hear it? Is that fine?
Get intimate with that phallic symbol.
Oh my gosh. I don't know which weird ones I've seen, but a lot of people on Instagram will be like, "I am blank."
Yes.
Or this person, or like
right.
Justin Bieber lover or something.
Yes.
I'm Nave Fool.
Yeah, you are. Oh, well, that's all right. You liked it. You stuck with it. That's all right.
Sure.
But, when you're starting out, it's so very important. Tell us about that, Ryan.
It's great. And I got lucky because my name isn't really, I can't find anyone else with my name.
Yeah.
Me either.
So Ryan is an Irish first name. I'm not Irish, but it's an Irish first name. Sorry.
Damn, you got me excited for 30 seconds of thrill came into me today.
It's an Irish first name and then like a Jewish-Polish last name. So that combination just doesn't happen very much. So
yeah.
I've gone on Facebook and I've never found another person with my name. So I got lucky with that.
You are.
But yeah, I just, when I was young, I I got my Instagram when I was 14. Before I even wanted to be an actor, I was like, I should probably just make it my name.
Yes.
And I'm just so happy I did
When
that.
did Instagram come out? It's fairly new, right? Like 5-10 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
You were just out of diapers, really.
Yes, of course.
Of course, just out of diapers. You're like, I got to nab my name now.
Oh, my God.
Because, if you haven't made an album or won an Oscar by the time you're 2, your career is over these days. It's just crazy. But we are so lucky to have him, and I'll tell you why. All right, so I met Ryan literally yesterday. It was hysterical. I call this poor boy, 22. They usually, not saying him, but usually they like to get their sleep on the weekend. I'm calling this guy at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and you know how loud I am, right? This is a characteristic trait in our family, except for you.
I know, I'm the quiet.
You have modified your voice.
I have,
we are all so loud in our family.
I was loud because I was in sketch comedy in the theater for 10 years, and I was for sure loud.
Yeah.
I'm just not now.
You've changed.
I've calmed down.
And you've calmed out. Well, this poor boy, Ryan. Okay, so here's what happened. My husband, Albert, who is over there in the back in black, like AC/DC, he is over there. And I said, I love John Blyth Barrymore. I got to have this man back on. And he said, wouldn't it be great? Because remember the last time John was on, he did the voice from the scene in my favorite Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life. And I was like, I was listening to Lionel Barrymore. I was like, what's happening? So I said to John, when you come back on the show, would you mind doing it? And he said, sure, because John's up for anything. He is totally cool. So we were talking about John, and Albert said, wouldn't it be great if we could have someone come on who could do the voice of Jimmy Stewart, and we could have him do a scene from the movie? Well, I was all over myself. I'm like, oh my God. So we searched for someone, and who is the best impressionist in the world, in my opinion?
Our friend Jim Meskimen.
Thank you. I found you changed that. Jim Ross Meskimen, who is a very good friend of yours. Actually, we'll find out how you met him. But I met Jim Ross Meskimen. I don't even remember now. But Jim Ross Meskimen, I know if you look him up now, you will know this guy. He is the son of Marion Ross from Happy Days. Mm-hmm. Remember?
Sure.
Yeah. And he is, like, in my opinion, the world's greatest impressionist. He can do anyone, Ryan. Like, anyone. And it's so eerie. He has a show every once in a while. I don't know if you've gone.
I've seen it.
Yeah. And he just does every impression. There is no... I don't know if he does women, but I think mostly men. I've never heard him do a women. I'm going to ask Jim, has he done a women? But... I asked him if he would be on the show, but I think he was busy, so he recommended Ryan. So yesterday, 9:00 in the morning, I'm calling Ryan. Hi, Ryan! You know this voice. Can you imagine this poor millennial hearing my voice at 9:00 in the morning? You know, I'm just like this cheerful, bespeckled chick, calling him, and I'm like, do Jimmy Stewart! And I'm shocked because the way he looks, he's so young looking, right? But his voice, he sounded very masculine. And I thought he was maybe 30. And so he did the voice. I was blown away, people. So the exciting point of this is that at around... I don't know what time, but it used to be 5:30. We were going to do this, but we've been thrown off by the traffic accident. So we are going to have John Blyth Barrymore, and Ryan Goldsher do the scene from It's a Wonderful Life. John as his as Mr. Potter. And we're going to have Ryan do George Bailey. So you just have to wait. You got to hang out. You got to just wait. It'll be a couple minutes. I don't even know how long the show's supposed to go, but we're just going to wing it. All right,
boy, we'll be winging it all right.
Yeah, anticipating. And Ryan's gotten the scene, and
that makes one of us.
I'm just wondering where the paper is because I'm old school.
It's on my phone.
Oh no, not the phone.
Oh wait, text
how are you
my
guys?
phone.
Yeah, text it to his phone so he can read it.
I can read it off your phone too.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Jessica while this is happening. So first of all, thank you so much, Jessica, for being a guest on the show, the co-host of the show today, and let me ask you, we had you on last year, was it?
About a year ago.
About a year ago. So take us from what was going on in your life a year ago while John checks his phone to see if he got the dialogue. I know he's like can't keep his eyes off poor Jessica over here.
I was about to ask if there were any more at home like you.
Oh my Lord! I know, isn't she just a beauty? Mm-hmm. Oh my God! I tell you, I got some hot chicks in my family now.
Family.
Should I be? We got a very very attractive.
Yes,
bunch.
because all the women my age, they're doing the cougar thing. They don't want me. And while it's nice to see women getting what men have always had, in terms
we
of
got
equality,
our cougars. I'm a cougar.
It's not working out so hot for me.
I know, you poor men. See, they thought they had the advantage, but now look, it's perfectly acceptable for women to have young boys like Ryan. And I brought cash.
And now I have to rely on women with daddy issues or granddaddy issues.
Ryan is a struggling actor, so I brought lots of dollar bills, right?
I appreciate that.
I am not above bribing. No, actually, that's my
Ryan's
husband.
like, I'll take them. I'll take those dollars.
That's a lot of food.
I know.
Did you think I wasn't going to?
I know. Ryan's like, well, what body part do I get for $10? You can touch my toe, but that's it. Yeah, you're not getting more than that, old lady. Come on now. But back in the day, John, believe it or not, I was a hottie. I would walk into the clubs, and let me tell you.
Me too.
Uh-huh. every woman wanted to be me. Every man wanted me. I had it down. So beauty runs in our family. But you can stare at her for a while.
It's beautiful.
Okay. So take us back. What's been happening since you were on the show last?
Well, when we last spoke, I was residing in Atlanta, Georgia, the other Hollywood. And I was there because my mom had been ill for 2 years with cancer. Yeah. She is in remission. Can we do that round of applause?
Do that round of applause.
That's the best thing we could
Jessica's
ever wish.
mom's in remission. Absolutely.
So as much as I love technically I'm from I like to call it the northern South.
Yeah.
About a mile below the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just, I've been here a long time since I was Ryan's age. And I'm really partial to the Southwest. And so I just, since mom's okay and everybody's all right, I just came back home.
Came back here in
and
LA?
I've got my cousin.
Oh.
So homecoming for us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you're never available on the weekend because you model your ass off. She's got this Pantene hair. Look at this Pantene
I don't have
hair
it down.
over here.
Sorry.
Look at this beautiful hair. I got the old nasty hair of my father. I got to put 15 products to get this stuff to stand up. And she just wakes up and it just flows. She's got Harry Styles hair. Make me so upset with the Harry Styles hair.
I do.
But you're modeling pretty much every weekend, car modeling. What type of modeling are you doing?
Around. So
hair modeling, obviously.
I've always been known to do hair modeling. I just finished a master class with Kim Kimball, who is the stylist for Beyonce and J-Lo and Mary J. Blige. So that was a really fun show. It hasn't
And we
aired
need
yet.
to find out if she does Kim Kardashian, my fantasy one.
I don't know. I
We
don't
gotta
know.
find out.
I don't know.
Because I'm gonna stalk. Yeah.
Well, I can give you her Instagram.
All
You
right.
can
Give me the Instagram.
So I came back, and I'm really happy to be back because I just am really happy in this climate, and I love, motorcycle riding through the canyons, and I just love the mountains here. I'm just really happy here. My heart is happy.
Yeah.
I feel home.
That's
right?
good.
And yeah, it's a good thing. So, the transition was harder than I thought. So I've been kind of just feeling maybe a little overwhelmed by the transition. Like you said, I'm just never available, booked all the time, which hallelujah, amen. I literally, the Monday I came back, I'm not kidding. This never happened. The Monday I came back, I submitted to the agent I wanted, and they took me. First agent I submitted to. First day I was back in LA.
That's great.
So I was like, okay, I'm home. They still love me.
That's
and
good.
I'll stay. But it just was harder, and just every detail has just been just kind of draining. So I'm hoping it's been 6-7 months now. I'm hoping now we can start to have some fun, and I can stop worrying about all the details.
Yes.
All the paperwork and my real ID and all the things you got to do.
Oh my God! I just got
the real
that
ID.
in the mail. What the hell
quite
is
the
the
feat.
real ID? Does everybody have to get those?
You gotta give them your firstborn to get them to give it to you.
Really?
Oh my word!
Did you get that in the mail?
Well, I have to get my license next year in May, and you have to have the thing by October, so it's going to be automatic for me.
I don't know if you people have heard about it, but because you usually get it if your car, you got to pay a registration, but that you now have to have a real ID by October 2020.
November 2020.
November 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or you're not getting on a plane.
Or you're not getting on a plane. I'm like, I don't know. All right, so I got to work. I guess I got to hire someone to help me get the real ID because it's complicated, right, John?
Yes, I'm surprised that you never did any hand modeling because you have very long nail beds, and that's what they're looking for.
Let's see the nail beds. Hold your nail beds up.
All my nails.
Get the nail beds.
Because I do fitness modeling too, and
the things I put poor Jessica
You have
through.
the beds that that they're looking for hand
So
models.
I have really long fingers. Will you put your hand up against my?
Oh,
You'll
this
note
is
that
the
my
height of
hand
John's day
is
right
the
now.
same-
Look at this. But look at his face. He's turned blood
Let's
red.
take a moment.
It's
Hopefully he
good.
won't pass out or anything.
He's
severe.
passing
Do we
out.
have a medic?
No.
Okay. So no. Okay, you're on your own, John.
All right.
So if you look in the Facebook Live, you'll see that the length of my entire size of my hand and the length of my fingers is the same as every man. So I'm giant
That's why I have
giraffe.
women-sized
limbs.
hands myself, but I have long palms.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ah.
it's a Simian.
It's always
teacher.
good. It's always.
Actually.
I would think it's always good for a man to have a long palm. For
I don't
many
know.
different
It's just.
reasons.
But you know what?
John doesn't
this
go
way.
there.
This way, I'm.
He's so innocent. He
I-
never gets my sexual jokes, and I love that about him.
I maybe I'm only 5'7", which is 1 inch taller than John Barrymore. But this way, I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
Suck on that, Da Vinci.
Yeah,
Not everybody's a circle.
Suck on that. Now, John, let's talk real quick to you about, first, congratulations on your current film projects. You are doing, I believe, Mata Hari, Paradise Lake, Bucks of America, Bond of Justice, and Hollywood Boulevard. What is happening? You're hot and in demand.
I only recognize one of those as something that
But
I
it's all on your IMDb.
Yes, yeah, the IMDb. What I know about is I did Tales of Frankenstein. I'm top billing in that. It's 4 stories. I'm the lead in story 2, and it just won a Roddy, whatever the hell that is. Hitchhiker Massacre. My Daddy's in Heaven. But it's this YouTube.
You didn't mention any of the ones that you currently have filmed in.
No, I just did Fake News with Eric Roberts.
Okay. Oh, I love
Speaking of
Eric
guys who got
Roberts.
nothing but dumped on by their movie star sisters for 30 years. But
I know.
I have this YouTube video, Lasagna Cat, and it's gotten 1.6 million views. And
What the hell's Lasagna Cat about?
it's a
Immediately I
1 hour
go to
monologue.
Food, but cat?
It's a 1 hour monologue about a 3-panel Garfield cartoon, and it's got a 1.6 million views and a 60-to-1 thumbs up to thumbs down ratio.
Ooh.
And
Ryan knows what that is.
Yes, that's great.
the comments are priceless.
Wow. Now, okay, so how do we find that? We go to YouTube and just
Navefool.
type
Go to Navefool featured videos. It's the first thing.
Navefool, Knavefool, because you
Yeah.
can't find them under John Blyth Barrymore. But Lasagna Cat, it'll be under, right?
Yes, Lasagna
Okay.
Cat's a site, and he's done a bunch of these, and
Ryan, you got to check that out, because that
totally.
seems like something you would like.
Yeah.
Lasagna Cat it is, because he does stand-up comedy, and he's fantastic. You got to go to his YouTube. Oh my gosh, I just watched you doing the church auditions, where it's you auditioning all these guys who are you.
Yes, I do a video where I do a bunch of different country singers.
Oh,
and
it's
non-country
so
singers.
funny. I assume you wrote all the dialogue.
Yeah, wrote it,
Really good. And you're so distinctive in each character.
Thank you, yeah.
You're really good. And then I watched you on your YouTube video doing My Heart. Now, everybody knows Harry Styles is life to me. Next to, of course, my husband, Albert. But we know that we love Mark Wahlberg, do we not? You know Mark's my second. Well, Ryan does an impression of Mark Wahlberg that is so spot on. And I imagine you write all your own
of course.
everything.
Yeah.
And now, where have you appeared locally around town? Because he does stand-up comedy, the 22-year-old hottie here.
I've been at the Hollywood Improv, Comedy Store, Flappers in Burbank, the West Side Comedy in Santa Monica, so a bunch of places.
Now, are you going to put me on the invite list, or is it just for millennials?
I'll put you on the comp list.
Are you
Free tickets.
I like the comp list, free ticket. But are you considered? I'm very confused with this whole millennial, Gen X, Y, Z. Are you?
he's a millennial.
Are you a
might be Z.
millennial?
Are you Z?
I think I've looked it up before, and it's like Z is a couple. So I'm December '96, and I think Z is January 1st, '97.
So you?
So it's just like,
I was just wondering about that.
yeah, I don't know.
My
was
two
just
youngest daughters.
I bring it up because they're saying that a lot of people who are Gen Z, I read this in, I think, Business Magazine, that they are gravitating towards being stand-up comedians and impressionists. I'm like,
love
why?
attention.
Is there something with your generation you just want to do that? But I
It's
don't
the
know
attention.
if you're...
We love the attention.
Well, that's true. That is true.
I think people Ryan's age are taking classes in adulting because my entire generation failed as parents.
Oh, don't
Completely.
say that. I think we came out pretty good. Now, John, you are descended from Hollywood entertainment industry royalty, shall we say. And most people past the age, I think maybe 40, and not in the entertainment industry, but they're movie buffs, that they most likely would associate at least the last name Barrymore with you, one of your relatives. And I would say if they're pursuing a career like Ryan, he knew immediately who the Barrymores were, which I'm surprised because he's 22.
That is surprising.
Yeah, in the entertainment industry. So last question is, how has your lineage affected your career in the entertainment industry?
Oh, boy. Well, both of my parents were actors.
Yeah.
So drama is our business. Nothing was ever underplayed at home.
Wow.
And it's a two-edged sword. You know,
Did you grow up with,
you know, but the Barrymore is a fabrication. My great-grandfather stole the name from somewhere. There's a couple of theories about where it came from, and nobody's really sure. But
yeah, because a lot of people don't know that Barrymore is not
Blyth is the real family name.
Blyth.
But then he married into a very old acting family, the Drew family. My great-great-grandmother entertained Abraham Lincoln in the White House as a teenager. That's right, we were from the North, Philadelphia. And that's how long, if you go back over to the Drew side, that's how long they've been in show business. And but Blyth was his real name, and he changed his name partially to spare his family the disgrace of having an actor in the family, and because in the 1820s it was like being a prostitute or a drug addict.
Has it changed? No, I'm just
Wow.
Not really. But when I was introduced to Laurence Olivier when I was in my 20s, and I was introduced as John Barrymore III or something, he said, "Nice to meet you, Mr. Blythe," just to let me know that he knew what was up.
What? Laurence Olivier. But you seem to be just teetling along, though, in your career. But so you're not saying they're like, oh, my gosh, we have to.
I'm getting better and bigger parts than I've ever gotten, but there's no money in it anymore.
Oh, my gosh. It's true. There's so many actors. Now, I want to verify someone before we move on to Ryan. Your aunt, now, this is going to get deep, people, but I thought this story was hysterical. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I'm going to ask you. Okay. Your IMDb page had a story I want to verify. It said that your grandfather, the original John Blyth Barrymore, had left specific instructions in his will that his body be cremated and his ashes be laid to rest next to his father and mother in the family cemetery in Philadelphia. However, due to the fact that his brother Lionel and sister Ethel were Catholic and cremation had not been sanctioned by the Catholic Church, the executors, Lionel and Mervyn Leroy, pulled some fancy judicial manipulations, and Barrymore's remains were entombed at Calvary Cemetery in Los Angeles until his death in 1942. And then in 1980, his son, John Drew Barrymore, decided after hearing a rendition of the cremation of Sam McGee that it was high time to have his father cremated. So he recruited his son, John Blyth Barrymore, to help, and the grave diggers, they're calling you, removed the Goodnight Sweet Prince marble monument from the crypt. That they muscled the coffin up on a hand truck, wheeled it down a long ramp to a van they had waiting outside. They cruised over to the Oddfellows Cemetery, which had a crematorium, and made the cremation preparations. John Jr. insisted on having a look inside the casket before they left. And then after the body, this is the funny part, he came out white as a sheet and crying. And he got into the car and said to his son, "Thank God I'm drunk. I'll never remember it." Is that true?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And actually, what made it all possible was Vatican II, because the only legitimate papers we had were from the health department and the Catholic Church. All the consent from the relatives were signed by me. But Vatican II, they changed all the rules in an effort to make the church more commercial.
Yeah.
And cremation was now legitimate. And as a result, but you know what? We have 38 or 42 cemetery plots at Calvary.
Wow.
And they're worth a bloody fortune because people want to be with their relatives. And none of us want to be there. By us, I mean myself and my cousins.
Yeah.
The grandchildren of John and Dolores. And the church won't let us sell them.
What? You gotta be able to sell. I say get back into your old grave digger position.
They will. They say they will take me. They don't care about the tattoos and the fact that I'm a Jew or any of that stuff.
Ryan needs money as a struggling actor. He's willing to go. We get some tools. I'll be the driver, and
By the
we
way,
can get that.
IMDb had me in my grandfather's empty slot.
Oh.
I was on IMDb one time, and it said other stars who were buried at Calvary. Okay, and it said John Barrymore hybrid. Well, that was a movie I did in the 90s, and you know that phrase, it felt like somebody walked over my grave?
Oh, my
I know what they mean when they say that.
gosh. Oh, so Ryan,
But I went back there just like 2 years ago, and I noticed something that I never noticed the first time.
what?
My grandfather's grave crypt, in the mausoleum said John Barrymore, 1942, the year he died. Lionel and his wife, no dates at all. Vanity, vanity, vanity.
I love it.
We're not going to tell you how
Doing
old we
that.
are even
That's
after we're
good.
dead.
Totally. That's good. Now, Ryan, do you have any questions for the great John Blyth Barrymore,
Gosh.
JBB,
Well,
in person,
I mean,
as an actor
Yeah,
pursuing your career?
starting out, what was that like? Your situation is probably a little different.
Well, I was a 19-year-old high school dropout with no other marketable skills, or so I thought. And so I said to my father, well, maybe I should try this acting thing. For what my family's always done.
The family business, right?
My mother wouldn't let me be Eddie Munster because Norman Abbott, who created the show, he wanted me to be Eddie Munster. And I thanked her later for that. I said, we don't agree on much, but thanks for getting that one right. But once I was an adult, my first job, I was 4 months old. My dad was playing Moses on live TV, Hallmark Hall of Fame. I played Baby Moses in the basket. But I was never a child actor after that. But I said, maybe I should try this acting thing. And he took me up to David Carradine's house and left me there for 2 years.
You believe that, Ryan?
Wow.
Left the damn boy for 2 years. But it turned out great because he ended up with his first acting job on Kung Fu.
That was
Right?
actually my first acting job was in a movie David made over the summer, but they'd hired a guy for that job for the last four episodes and fired him the first day, and they needed somebody right that minute who could play 15, who was over 18, and David, good friend that he was, said, well, what about John Barrymore? Because I'd been out of the set.
Yeah.
And the producer said, get him down here.
Yeah. Do you remember? Now, you're too young. You don't remember the show Kung Fu, right? With
No, I do
David
not.
Carradine. Okay, it was huge in the 70s. It was like mega big. Grasshopper, you ever heard that phrase?
I've definitely heard that
That's
phrase.
from
Okay.
That's from that. Any
makes
other
sense.
questions for John Blyth Barrymore?
Oh, gosh. Well, it's about who you know, I guess is what you're saying. You
You
made a
know,
friend.
when
Is it?
for the advice since we are giving out advice on this show.
Yes, thank you.
I used to run an actor's workshop, and people who became new to, I would say, The Big Picture, starring Kevin Bacon, Blake Edwards' film S.O.B., and Robert Altman's film The Player. And you'll know everything you need to know about how Hollywood actually works, not the BS they're giving you in the trades or on Entertainment
you left
Tonight.
one out.
Somebody tells me that. Is it Swimming with Sharks?
Swimming with Sharks.
I've not seen that one.
We're the
okay?
one that told you that a long
No,
time
no,
ago.
not just you.
That
A
is
lot of people
how
have told me that.
Hollywood works. Ryan,
I should see it.
we got to see a first. If I'm going to recommend, definitely the ones, The Player for sure, but Swimming with Sharks should be your first one.
Okay.
Because that is so harsh. The other ones are gentle. But
Oh, I
really,
don't think they're just...
because you haven't seen Swimming with Sharks. When you see it, you're going to go, okay, I get you, Priscilla.
I have a soft spot for S.O.B. because everybody in that movie is somebody real with a different name, and I knew all those people. Sue Mengers, and
Makes sense.
But The Player is the best film because it's all about the writer.
Yeah.
It's
Wait till you see Swimming with Sharks,
Uh,
Ryan.
I'll see it. I
Ryan,
promise.
I'm the female. Watch that one first, and then we got to tell John what we think. Now, Ryan, real quick, you're starting out on your journey in life
Sure, yeah.
and in the entertainment industry. Why did you feel that this career path was for you?
It was the only thing I ever thought of.
Really?
Yeah, there was never a plan B. I just couldn't get off of it. It was just forever what I wanted to do.
Yeah. And what is that? Because you do so much acting,
well, yeah, it did start off.
comedy,
It was,
impressions.
I knew I was like, okay, I want to go into like, definitely performing comedy. Okay. And I was like, okay, I think I need to be a stand-up. And then I do stand-up, and I was like, okay, maybe it's sketch comedy, and maybe it's improv, maybe it's it. And now I'm at the point where it's going to be writing and acting, for sure.
Great.
And all the other things help out, and I still do them. But definitely acting and writing is where the bullseye landed.
Right.
And that's what I want to do. So, yes.
And that's so smart, because the more skills, and John will be the first to tell you this, the more skills you have, people, the better. You got to have lots of skills in your toolbox. Improv classes, drama classes, English mask acting, method acting, violin Spolin method. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But the more, the better. But, even as a female, you need to be out there taking parkour. You need to be taking sword fighting classes. You need to be because we need more female action heroes. I got to get that in. And
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I study Krav Maga.
Krav
I ride
Maga.
motorcycles.
Exactly.
And
the more you put on, because
fighting.
I have many friends who are casting directors, tons. Okay. So I say to them, when you're looking for an actor for a role, what do you look for? And they obviously, you got to fit. They first think physically they want you to fit the part. But sometimes that's not always the way they go. They will secondly look, you're going to be shocked at this, they will look down under your special skills.
That's right, yeah.
And a lot of actors don't know that. Ryan seems to know it.
Well, it's because, so I do impressions, which is, the reason I'm here. And it's not my end goal. It's just something I do. But that has created so many opportunities.
Exactly.
It's not, they're just like, oh, he does impressions. That's fun. And then they see me act, or then they see me whatever. But it's just like a foot in the door sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's really fun.
And I mean, sometimes a writer, which I have lots of friends who are writers, they'll say, well, you know what? I'll bring someone on. They can do an impression. I'll rewrite the line with insert, do voice of. Yeah. Because the actor can do it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just, you don't have to be an impressionist, but, if you have some interesting skill.
Yeah, or dialects, right?
Yeah.
It is so important. Now, Jessica, am I right about these actors who are foreign who can do American accents better than Americans can do their own accent? I'm so impressed with Australians.
The best speakers of American English
and
learned
British.
it as a second language before the age of 12.
Amazing.
They speak it better than most of the people who grew up here.
Yeah, like so many British acts. A lot of people, I know Johnny Depp personally, but the British people say that Johnny Depp speaks the best British accent of any American that they've ever seen in film. And then they're from the 100, which is a television show. There's who's the star of that show, Albert? What's her name? The blonde-haired girl. Whoever that star is, she's Australian. Oh my God, you never know she was Australian.
I never knew Ian McShane was Australian until I saw him in an interview.
It's amazing. Yeah. And then I'm a huge fan of iZombie. She's Australian. I never knew.
The thing is, English to English, it's not that difficult because we make all the same sounds. We just make them in different places.
I can't do it, John.
Yeah. And by the way, the Queen's English of Shakespeare's day sounded much more like American English does now than British English does now.
Isn't that interesting, Ryan? I was telling Ryan yesterday on the phone, I start out, I'll try to do a British accent, and then it goes into Thai, and then it sounds Russian, and then it sounds, I cannot consistently do it, I guess because I didn't train. And then Ryan goes, I can see the other ones, don't know how Thai fit in there.
I didn't know.
Neither did I. So then I schooled Ryan on my spiritual beliefs about how I believe in reincarnation, and I think that there are so many people, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but I've watched many documentaries on people who had traumatic brain injuries, and they come out of it after being in a coma, and they speak a foreign language or a dialect.
Yes, but is that a past life?
It's a past life.
Or is that them from the universe next door?
No.
Ooh.
I
Oh,
like that.
I didn't think of that. I was selling Ryan on my past life theory. He wasn't buying it. He's going to look it up, though.
There's two theories.
All the math.
I never thought of that.
All the math points at either many universes or many extra dimensions.
Parallel
math
universe.
has been a pretty good predictor of
Math
things.
is never wrong. Well,
not so far.
maybe. We don't know. But yeah, that's a good Ryan, I got to add to that. Footnote, add that to your study.
Okay.
Study list. Yeah, we're going to do a scene.
wait,
It's
oh,
exciting.
and wait,
It's
did you send me the
exciting.
script?
Yes.
Oh,
We're going to
okay.
do the scene, everybody. We're going to do the
We've
scene.
never rehearsed this.
We've
so-
never rehearsed this.
Good.
Look, me.
I don't like to
I'm doing
over-prepare.
something. I'm doing something, Jessica. I'm going to announce it. That's all I'm doing.
Wait a second. Just a second.
I'm
Just
gonna watch
Darn,
it.
I
That's
wish
all
we
I'm
were-
gonna do.
I know. We're casting you as Mary Bailey. No. But this is one of my favorite Christmas. Everybody knows I'm obsessed with Christmas, and I love Christmas movies. I start watching them in October. Poor Albert, who couldn't care less about Christmas. I don't understand that, but he's not really a holiday person. But I start listening to my Christmas music in October. And I start my Christmas decorations. Poor Albert talked me into the fake tree. He has to get that. I know you.
It's
Wouldn't
good
it
for
be?
the trees. Probably.
I like the pine, but he gets the fake tree out. We start decorating, and I want that tree up by Thanksgiving, if not before, right? So anyway, I start watching the Christmas movies in October. And on Hallmark and HMM. So here we go. Oh my God! Oh, that's the timer for we don't have any time. We got 5 minutes, so the boys have to get it together.
So,
within 5 minutes.
go.
No, not
Most
yet.
movie
Yeah,
scenes are 5
okay.
minutes long.
So this is a scene. This John is going to play his great uncle Lionel Barrymore. It's the Harry Potter. Oh, Jesus! It is the scene with Mr. Potter and George Bailey. George Bailey, his uncle, lost the money. Remember, and he is about to be arrested. So he goes into Mr. Potter's office and he's like begging him to give him to loan him the money. And so Ryan, Albert, do you have that on Ryan and John?
Yeah.
No, the camera. Okay,
very good.
we're gonna have Ryan is doing the voice
Yes, I'll
of
do
George
my-
Bailey, played by Jimmy Stewart,
Stewart.
and we have John Blyth Barrymore doing Lionel Barrymore.
And we'll see how this goes.
Okay, and 5, 3, 2, 1.
Well, thank you, sir. It's quite a cigar, Mr. Potter.
You like it? I'll send you a box.
Well, I suppose I'll find out sooner or later, but what exactly did you want to see me about?
George, that's just what I like so much about you, George. I'm an old man and most people hate me, but I don't like them either, so that makes it all even. But you know just as well as I do that I run practically everything in this town but the Bailey building and loan. You know also for a number of years I've been trying to get control of it, or kill it, but I haven't been able to do it.
Well, most people say you stole the rest.
The envious ones say that, George, the suckers. Now I have stated my side very frankly. Now let's look at your side. Young man, 27, 28, married, making, say, 40 a week.
45.
Technical.
45, out of which, after supporting your mother and paying your bills, you're able to keep, say, 10 if you skimp. A child or two comes along, you don't even be able to save the 10.
Well, what's your point, Mr. Potter?
My point is, I want to hire you.
Hire me?
I want you to manage my affairs, run my properties, George. I'll start you out at $20,000 a year.
$20,000 a year?
You wouldn't mind living in the nicest house in town, buying your wife a lot of fine clothes, a couple of business trips to New York a year, maybe once in a while Europe. You wouldn't mind that, would you, George?
Oh, would I? You're not talking to someone else around here, aren't you? This is me, you remember, George Bailey.
Oh, yes, George Bailey, whose ship has just come in, provided he has brains enough to climb aboard.
What about the building and loan?
Oh, confound it, man. Are you afraid of success? I'm offering you a 3-year contract at $20,000 a year, starting today. Is it a deal or isn't it?
Well, Mr. Potter, I ought to jump at the chance, but I just wonder if it'd be possible for you to give me 24 hours to think it over.
Sure. You go home and talk about it to your wife.
I'd like to do that.
In the meantime, I'll draw up the papers.
All right, sir.
Okay, George.
Okay, Mr. Potter.
And scene. Wow! Albert, let's have some applause. The applause. Now we need the applause. Yes. What?
We did it.
What?
We're gonna have to wrap it up.
Wow. There you go. We have the legend, John Blyth Barrymore. And we have probably one of the finest, probably
The future legend.
The
legend
future
in the
legend.
making.
Finest. Can
Legend
I
in the
say
making.
the
Yeah.
finest?
the finest George Bailey, Jimmy Stewart I've ever heard.
Oh, thank you.
And I now I'm gonna say Jim Ross Maskerman. I want to hear your Jimmy Stewart now. That was fantastic. John, wasn't he fantastic?
Yes.
Thank you. I
Wow.
appreciate that.
And what other voice are you going to come back on the show?
I'll
I'm
do
roping
your-
them in, roping them in
I'll do your
now.
Mark Wahlberg next time.
What? Oh,
cliffhanger.
he's going to do my Mark Wahlberg. All right. And then can we do Harry Styles?
Yes, we could do
Oh,
Harry Styles
God.
too. And Zayn.
Whoa! Whoa!
She's
You
gonna
fucking
pass
lover. Fuck you. I don't need to respond on Twitter. Oh, he's so massively aggressive to his followers. Whereas Carrie's like, we got to kill it with kindness. All right, so we are. Ryan promised me you're going to come back.
Yes,
promise.
absolutely. Yes.
I'll bring another hot chick on. Work it out. And Jessica, will you come back as
I'm
co-host?
obligated by blood.
By blood to come back. And John could come every week. You know we love old John. Young John. And thank you, John, so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Do you have fun when you're here?
I
think
always
you-
have fun. I'm kidding.
everywhere
I'm
you
65
go,
years
you
old. Every
have-
minute I'm on this side of the grass, I'm,
Great.
you know, I'm
Yes.
astounded that I've even gotten here.
Yes. So let's go to jessicafurmanek.com on Instagram, and please RyanGoldsher.com on Instagram, and you gotta go check him out on YouTube right now, people. He is so funny. So funny. Okay, thank you so much. We will see you next week on Question Reality. Bye.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.